All right, we are on our way to a nasty arm pump. Uh, Going to regular gym again. Uh, Sad news, could not figure out how to get the audio from this thing to go to the receiver and then in turn to the camera I borrowed. I spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get it to work because from everything I saw and read, with this specific camera, it should just automatically start taking audio from the transmitter, but it didn't. I tried it a few times. Went through the menus and stuff to try and get it to like change it over, but it doesn't have the menu options that I saw online for it to like change over to microphone instead of like local audio. So we're using the phone again, and the next time you possibly see me using a professional camera or like a real camera will be whenever I get my own, unfortunately. I was only really going to use it for one video this weekend anyway, but yeah, I couldn't. I don't know what I was doing wrong. Like I said, it should just be plug and play, but it didn't work for whatever reason. And that might have something to do with the fact that it's a camera from 2010. What would that be? 14 years old now at this point? Almost 15 years old? Jeez. I'm not exactly sure when the camera was bought and like started being used, but I know it's an old camera. Uh, and it's not, the lenses are pretty good on it. It's just not what it's not 4K. So, I mean, it wouldn't have ended up being as good as the video. It might have been better. I might not have had to use a goddamn, excuse me, floodlight. Are you turning or not? Oh, so you're just going really slow for no reason. Um, wouldn't have had to use this light here, which I did see made it a bit clearer just because the ambient light was a little bit brighter. It didn't make it, it made it less grainy, so I might start just doing this from now on with the light. I'm sure it looks fucking crazy from the outside, uh, but this is what we're doing, and this is how it's going to be. And nobody can stop me from doing it. It's not against the law to have a light on in your car, as much as our parents used to make us think it was. Um, but yeah, so I did have a topic that I was going to talk about, but that is going to have to wait until after the workout. I think. I mean, if I remember to, obviously, I've said that before, and it didn't pan out that way. So, you know what? No, we'll talk about it, I guess. One thing that I've been thinking about lately is how perspective plays into the thought and idea of dieting. Uh, Having been not on a diet to being on a diet for the first time to now being on a diet for like a second time or not being it being the first time, I can see how it can be difficult to hear that dieting and losing weight is simple, because if you've never done it before, of course you're not going to be very good at it. I mean, everybody starts from a different point, you know. What's easy for me might not be easy for you, and what used to be hard for me isn't that hard now. Like the first time dieting, I didn't have as much of a easy time trying to stay below the amount of calories that I'm staying below now. Like I was a lot more hungry for a lot more of the day. But now I'm fasting and not eating for hours before, after I wake up. And it's just like, it's not, it's different. So again, I can understand how it's difficult to hear that it's easy and it's simple, because it's not. I mean, in a way, it's harder than, because it's a mental thing. It's like you gotta, for lack of a better word, you have to lock in. So uh, all I can say is don't put other people down just because they're not as good as you are, or not as well versed in any one particular thing as you are, because you've just been doing it longer. It's the same with working out, like someone's form or physique. You can't compare yourself to someone like that, someone who's quote unquote better than you, because a lot of the time they've just been doing it longer than you and have more experience. So give yourself some time, give yourself a little bit of leeway. It just takes a little bit to get a hang of things. What was it? It was like, I can't remember. It's like certain amount of hours it takes to master any particular skill. I'll have to look it up. I don't remember. But yeah, just keep that in mind. All right, let's go. Let's get in there. Okay. I did some ab work before I got started today. I think I did 4 sets on the ab crunch machine and 2 sets, 2 or 3 sets of leg raises. Throw those in every once in a while because I don't train abs nearly enough as I should, but it is what it is. I'm going to do something a little different today. We're going to start off with biceps and then go to triceps. Also, different exercise. Incline dumbbell curls. I'm not exactly sure what weight I should be doing this with yet because I don't hardly ever do them. So I just picked a weight that felt like I could control it pretty good and see where we go from there. All right. Let's get some music playing. Hit this. Okay. That felt like a pretty good burn at the end, but I think I'm just going to go up a little bit more and then probably stay at that rep range. Oh, of course not. Alright, gonna do the same approach with these. Nice, slow, controlled. As much as I can, and if I need to jump the weight, I will. I'm definitely feeling these more than the incline curls, but I think it's just because it's a different head. Alright, one more. Let's move on to triceps. It's getting late. Alright, gonna do a little superset action. I know last time I did supersets it didn't really work out well, but this is just tricep. So I'm gonna do a set of push downs, flip flap around, do overhead extensions, and repeat for a couple sets. I should probably put this up before. fucking burns. I think that's enough triceps for one night. All right. Pump cover off. Time to pose. Down. Okay. This one's looking pretty freaky as of late. I think this shoulder is a bit bigger than this one, even though this tricep looks better. All right. There's going to be so much I have to cut out for audio. Okay. Turn our little spotlight on. Face lit up properly. I mean, that would be very properly lit up, but then I would be blind. How about we do this? Is that better? Nope, that doesn't do shit. Let's just do what we did before. And do this or something, I don't know. That was arms. I can already tell you right now that the audio is going to be a nightmare with this video. I can already see it happening. The thing about going sorry about that. Thing about going to the gym this late at night is it's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you can be pretty sure that it's going to be quite empty. It's not going to be a lot of people in there, and it gives you a little bit more liberty. It gives me a little bit more liberties with how I film my videos and what I do in them. Not necessarily what I do in them, but just ease of setup for filming. But on the other hand, it's a lot quieter overall in the gym. So even with the noise canceling on the microphone, speaking of which, I need to move you down there. Even with the noise canceling, it doesn't recognize that as not the main audio, the main object of the recording. So it just picks it up, and really the only thing I can do if I upload it without any editing is mute the audio, because I don't know what it is lately. It used to be that you should be able to like erase the song but not the remaining audio on YouTube, like with their copyright system. But the last 2 or 3 times that I've had a copyright claim, just because of music or whatever in the background, it hasn't given me the option. And this is already after I edit the video, render it, and upload it. So if I wanted to go back in with try to do what I can with the editing software I use, um, I'd have to re-render and re-upload it, which is just an added amount of time, which that is really unnecessary. If I sit there and just go through it, spend the extra time then, which wouldn't add up to be as long as it would take to re-render and re-upload it, uh, and just edit it to where I try to minimize the amount of copyrightable content in the video, then I'll save myself a little bit more of a headache. Now the problem with that is I have to actually do it and get myself to do it. And I'm telling myself right now that it is going to be easier and better in the long run to do it and not just roll the dice. Like, because sometimes I'll just roll the dice and see if YouTube's copyright system will even catch something that I heard. Because sometimes it just straight up doesn't do anything with certain things, like with certain music. It doesn't even recognize it. But then other times it's stuff like I can barely hear it when I'm doing the playback and the editing, but it catches it. So it just flip flops and doesn't know what it wants. Sometimes it's super precise, and other times it doesn't give a shit. So yeah, that's where I'm at with this right now. As for lift, I really did like that push down overhead extension superset. I think that might be a new staple of my arm days, at least until I do it again next arm day and see if I still like it. But that was a good idea, if I do say so myself. And it's not exactly revolutionary by any means, but I liked it, is what I'm trying to say. So, we are probably not doing a leg day video tomorrow. I know barely any of y'all watch it anyway, so I'm just not going to waste the time. I'm just going to go to, well, see, now I'm torn because for hamstrings, I really like the new gym, like the newer gym, because of the lying leg curl and the seated leg curl they have there. Mainly because of the lying leg curl, because I haven't had that type of stimulus, and it was felt really nice the first time I did it. But for quads, I like the gym here because the leg extension doesn't need to be fancy. I actually like sitting in that leg extension more. It feels more comfortable. And the hack squat here is better. So I'm torn as to which one to go to tomorrow. Who knows? I might change my mind and do a video anyway, so I guess you guys will find that out tomorrow. And if not, I'll see you guys next week for whatever day it lands on. Catch you guys in the next one. Later.